was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Mm. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend?
What's happening between Diddy and Jay-Z? 50 Cent, who once made negative remarks about the Carters, now seems to be pointing the blame at them for Diddy's struggles. While 50 hasn't been very vocal, he hasn't seemed to get along with Jay-Z, who is often regarded as one of the greatest rappers of all time. Their connection to Beyoncé seems to play a big role in how they've shaped the music industry. The Carters' image of wealth and power has made them targets of criticism, with some questioning Beyoncé's focus on her past.
A shocking development: federal agents have raided homes, properties associated with the rapper in Miami and Los Angeles.
Multiple brands and businesses apparently aren't showing the mogul the same love, as they've decided to distance themselves or fully cut ties.
Even though if he don't lose all his money and everything like that, his fall from grace would be harder than anybody we would know in hip-hop. Anybody we've known in hip-hop, his fall from grace would be worse than anybody. Because he would be the laughing stock.
Even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16.
Nicki also played a role in this feud. Her song Press Play directly criticized Beyoncé, even calling her an idiot. Fans kept asking why Nicki didn't like Beyoncé, so Nicki responded by pointing out her own struggles growing up, contrasting them with Beyoncé's more privileged background. In 2003, Cantrell even accused Beyoncé of copying her work, claiming she wouldn't get away with it since she was the #1 artist. Jay-Z has also had his share of public conflicts, particularly with hip-hop legend Nas.
He goes and gets into trouble, and you need to convince the white people you're still in control. You bring Kendrick Lamar, who we already know you don't like for the way he embarrassed you on Don't Kill My Vibe, the remix. But we also know
Up in the closet.
you got ties in TDE, Sean Carter, and you got a switch on top. I know that. I know that for a fact. Just like why you keep having artists that want to jump off of high places. Shout out to Ab Soul.
Oh.
What was her name? Alori Joe?
Oh.
That woman threw herself from a control tower and impaled herself with spikes right before she was about to sign the TDE. And her fiance, Ab Soul, threw himself off the freeway out of grief and survived. Mm-hmm. Why are all of the artists at TDE so unhappy? You got some of the best artists in the West there. Why did Kendrick Lamar feel the need to leave and start his own? And why is he able to release more records now that he's not at TDE?
So
interesting.
Let me ask you, as you're on this topic.
I tell you one thing, Curtis Jackson, you are a setup king. And I promise you this, any little nigga that you're enlisting to go down to New Orleans and start trouble during the Super Bowl, that will stop. That will stop. I'm sick and tired of you. And the truth is, they only like you for your money.
So let me ask you, Jack, on a surface level, you're saying that Kendrick being in the Super Bowl versus, let's say, Wayne, which was like a shoe-in for the city, that
There's also the story of Jay-Z and Damon Dash, his former business partner who helped start Rockefeller Records. They had a falling out, with Jay-Z accusing both Dash and Kanye West of deceiving him.
So people are angry that Beyonce did not stand with the rest of the Golden Globe room for Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm watching. Because fortunately, one of the TVs in our kitchen has closed captioning, so I'll be able to understand what she says. She, you know, Beyonce can't talk. Beyonce sounds like she's got a 5th grade education. She can't talk.
But Nicki didn't leave it there because she came at Beyonce again when she released her song Press Play. And this time, she explicitly mentioned Beyonce and even called her an idiot. She clapped back at all the people who always asked her why she don't like Beyonce. She said that unlike Beyonce, she had to fight for everything she has because her parents were not business owners. She then went on to seemingly call both Beyonce and
Then there's the Lance Rivera incident, where Jay-Z reportedly attacked the producer over alleged bootlegging of his album Volume 3.
Jay's a bastard. He wants to be number one. So he gonna pick a fight or whatever because he wants everyone to know you, not me. Alright, so boom. Ether the whole lot, right?
Jay-Z. Fuck with your soul like ether. Teach you the king, you know you. Godson across the belly. I prove you lost already.
I was in the club with Nas the other day and they came on. We both put our head down.
Age test, what's the results? Not positive.
This record is so hard, you know?
Right.
Like, he told me though, I think his mother died. When Jay came at him, he was dealing with his mother dying.
Damn.
So I think, that kind of
helped it
fuel that monument.
So, what role does Diddy play in all this? His decline is linked to growing allegations, including sexual assault and sex trafficking claims. If you've been paying attention, you've likely heard about Bad Boy Records founders' fall from grace.
That's time you talk with Jay-Z.
I don't want to talk about
No, come on, Dane.
Why?
Because we're having a full conversation.
You know why
here.
it's not fair? Because he doesn't talk about it.
I hear
and
you.
every time I talk about the situation, number one, this is what you know. No matter what, I feel he robbed me. period. Okay. And no matter what, I'm always gonna feel that way. So you're never gonna, like, if I hit somebody with some work and they run off, I forgive it. It don't bother me. But if you ask me about that person, I'm like, nah, he ran off.
Right.
So the way he goes about moves with my business, I'm not talking about nobody else's, but personally, the way he did me was dirty. The way he did Biggs was dirty. The way he did Rockefeller was dirty. So he went, told L.A. Reid, I want Rockefeller, I don't want Damon Biggs down. And we was like, damn, I'd have left. I thought that was dirty. The shit he did with Rockware, that was dirty. When he said he wasn't gonna be a part of it while I was selling it and devalued it, and then, I stepped away from it because I needed to go do my own thing, and all of a sudden they do a big deal like that, that was dirty. They put me, that was dirty. It was dirty business. And that's how I feel. So anytime you ask me, I'm not salty for life, right? But with him, yeah, I'm salty. That was whack. And look, there's no more Rockefeller. There's Jim, there's Kanye.
Book, bling, and die as soon as it made the bestsellers list.
Gabriel Union. And when you mention things like Jay-Z's time is coming for him, then I look at Beyonce. And I say that, women but she remade Jolene.
Dead. I'm gonna tell you the song she should have remade. It's a hit. It would have done great for her. She should have tried it on. Tammy Wynette. Classic. Stand by your man. Don't act like you don't know that now. Remake that. Stand by that. That's a real country hit. Jolene, nice. But it has a ring to it. Stand by your man. Yeah. Whoops and disrespects you with other like Kathy Coriana White.
All right, well, let's do it like
who was
this.
Actually carrying his baby while you was faking it.
Diddy's decline has also impacted several of his friends and associates, including the Carters, CEO Lucian Grange, Jennifer Lopez, Prince Harry, and rapper Young Miami. Many have pointed out they saw warning signs long before, but nobody paid attention. Usher, who grew up under Diddy, even claimed the rapper introduced him to a dangerous lifestyle.
Orgying like nonstop, right?
Nah, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher
Then there's the story of Donady Kane, Diddy's all-female group. Diddy faced accusations after charges were made against him.
Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you? He put it in everybody else? Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
That
it.
belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
Half of which dumbass bitch.
So, it's funny that it's crazy you say these
Why
things.
don't nobody want to accept that bitch?
I think
She went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. Snacking on his bitch. Killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Impulse control issues? I don't know. I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. Why the fuck did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird. The next day, within the week?
The next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
At an Atlantic City event, Diddy even rapped about stealing samples from producers and referenced rapper Shine, who was blamed for the 1999 Club New York shooting. He said, "Never mess with bad boys."
Do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions. When the deal is, when this benevolent man who's this now had a change of heart and has decided to pay us as talent and also as writers, we're credited with publishing. So basically, we only get the amounts due since Sony bought our catalog.
Okay.
So streaming for the past couple years, it's about $800, $900, some in the hundreds. Okay. And in order to get that, I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
Pretty skeptical of just what we could really, be sure of in regards to all this. I think having heard so many people's stories.
The Shine, the Loon, Puff Daddy, the Craig Mack,
Smalls,
the Biggie Smalls. So even though I made those decisions and it cost me money, that's why I got with Killer and they gave me the money back. I didn't lose no money.
Man, it's a lot of stuff that Mace and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher, though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy too.
At an Atlantic City event, he even rapped about it, saying that Diddy stole samples from producers and referencing rapper Shine, who was blamed for the 1999 Club New York shooting. He also said, never put Mace with other bad boys who had hardships.
I'm the ghost of Shine. I speak for every artist never spoke their mind, representing every artist that was left behind. From Craig Mack to Chief Dell, I still remember them kids chanting for every producer you ever stole a sample. Why you
No one seems happier than 50 Cent. He not only makes fun of Diddy, but also points fingers at the Carters. After the FBI raided Puffy's home, 50 Cent shared 2 headlines from TMZ, writing, "Just became real. Cops at every crib, kids in handcuffs." The two have been at odds since 2006, when 50 accused Diddy of knowing who shot Notorious B.I.G., a claim Diddy has denied.
A lot more to it than just as simple as, oh, Kendrick's he had a great year.
Social engineering. Creating an issue that didn't need to be an issue.
I hear that. Like Hunger Games, like.
Very Hunger Games. Life imitates art. Art imitates life. I tell you one thing, it's been almost 30 years since Biggie and Tupac were taken from us. That was social engineering at its finest. It got people in line, didn't it?
Without question.
Now you think about Drake right now, and you think about Kendrick Lamar. That's looking about the same as Biggie, Kendrick. Biggie, Kendrick, Tupac, Drake. Think about the comparisons.
Yep.
Imagine. Be a gangster playing. Imagine.
Comparisons.
If the same fate that befell Biggie and Tupac happened to Drake and Kendrick.
Just imagine.
And as messy as Drake is right now, I can almost bet that there's somebody that wants to turn his faucet off. Because if y'all think Diddy is a mess, Drake, he was being groomed to be next in line. See? What happens when the real details of what happened to Triple X come out? What happens when Jonathan Hay finally starts putting all of the pieces together on why he was put in that home invasion robbery with his daughter? Because he's remembering more now. He's been talking with Truth Is here on YouTube, and he's been saying even more now than he said here. Shout out to Jonathan Hay and your bravery.
Shout out Jonathan Hay. We will get him on the couch soon, because his story is one of those stories that might get lost in Hollywood if he was ever silenced.
He might get lost.
Exactly.
In 2023, 50 Cent again criticized Diddy, saying he believed Diddy was guilty of Tupac's murder. He has also made remarks about Diddy's parties, calling them unpleasant, and noted their past conflicts, especially during their rival vodka company promotions.
All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock with him.
Okay, damn. All right, I didn't know what that meant.
Okay.
All right, okay. Okay, well, we'll come back to it. All right, my bad. Yeah.
50 Cent even posted headlines suggesting Diddy was hiding something, calling it a joke. What would you wager? I'll get the tapes, pay top bucks. He criticized Diddy after quitting as head of Revolt TV, suggesting major companies like Cadillac and AT&T would back out.
But when he's doing, he says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Instant has gone off. When people say that to me.
He said that he felt uncomfortable when Puffy told him he'd take him shopping.
I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out. No, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl. Puffy do some like a little fluffy stuff.
Now you guys
on.
are all in some hip hop beef, okay?
Nah, yeah. I ain't got nothing.
It's all it truly is about the Benjamin, as we see.
Oh yeah, he's glittering.
It truly is about the Benjamin.
Well, now when we come back, we're gonna talk more with Puffy, and if you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my brother.
50 Cent has also made claims about Diddy's sexuality, saying he found it uncomfortable when Diddy invited him shopping.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Yeah. Now, everybody was saying Jay-Z was taking a shot at you.
And I didn't take it that way. Because if we looked at all of the numbers, you see I did his career in 4 years.
I heard you say that before.
Mm-hmm. In 4 years. So you can't, I wouldn't say that. I mean, the largest selling album he's had internationally sold 430,000 copies. Hard Not Right. I sold 5 million twice. So when we leave here, you know who's who.
Now, what is y'all relationship, though? Because it seems like y'all take stabs every once in a while. But then I see y'all on stage and then y'all perform. And then I see y'all take pictures with each other.
Because it's the competitive nature of the art form. It's still there. He still competes, too.
Look at even Jay-Z's career. You can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go...
50 recently shared a video of Mike Tyson pushing Diddy's hand away, making fun of him on Instagram.
The kids even have Grammys. Like, they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys.
50 Cent believes Jay-Z and Beyonce are protecting Diddy. Despite being longtime friends, Jay-Z and Beyonce have stayed quiet. 50 made comparisons between their sales and suggested Jay-Z has had a bigger impact in the industry.
Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you? He put it in everybody else? Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, you know, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that bitch bitch?
I think she
went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. You know, snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Impulse control issues? I don't know.
Okay,
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. Why did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird. The next day,
and
within the week?
And no, the next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
He also pointed out that Beyonce and Jay-Z have Grammys without being artists, implying favoritism from award shows.
I'm more to it than just as simple as, oh, Kendrick's he had a great year.
Social engineering. Creating an issue that didn't need to be an issue.
I hear that. Like Hunger Games, like.
Very Hunger Games. Life imitates art. Art imitates life. I tell you one thing, it's been almost 30 years since Biggie and Tupac were taken from us. That was social engineering at its finest. It got people in line, didn't it?
Without question.
Now you think about Drake right now, and you think about Kendrick Lamar. That's looking about the same as Biggie, Kendrick. Biggie, Kendrick, Tupac, Drake. Think about the comparisons.
Yep.
Imagine. Be a gangster playing. Imagine.
Comparisons.
If the same fate that befell Biggie and Tupac happened to Drake and Kendrick.
Just imagine.
And as messy as Drake is right now, I can almost bet that there's somebody that wants to turn his faucet off. Because if y'all think Diddy is a mess, Drake, he was being groomed to be next in line. See? What happens when the real details of what happened to Triple X come out? What happens when Jonathan Hay finally starts putting all of the pieces together on why he was put in that home invasion robbery with his daughter? Because he's remembering more now. He's been talking with Truth Is here on YouTube, and he's been saying even more now than he said here. Shout out to Jonathan Hay and your bravery.
Shout out Jonathan Hay. We will get him on the couch soon because his story is one of those stories that might get lost in Hollywood if he was ever silenced.
Might get lost. He might get lost.
Exactly.
In a different interview, 50 shaded the music industry, calling award shows a PR stunt meant to ensure Beyonce shows up.
I hit the homie, the big homie Jay-Z, right? And I told him to come pull up on me. And he pulled up on me and he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. He said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
After being excluded from a 2022 Super Bowl ad, 50 Cent criticized Jay-Z, saying he modeled his appearance on a gay painter.